Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Rivalry renewed, Cowboys-Steelers, top 10 all-time games. One team is blue-collar tough, with a history of grit and spit coaches Chuck Noll and Mike Tomlin. The other team's glitzy owner, Jerry Jones, landed on the practice field this week via personal helicopter. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys vs. Pittsburgh Steelers, a renewal of one of the NFL's most dynamic and diverse rivalries. When the Cowboys play the Steelers on Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh, it will be a primetime clash of two of the NFL's flagship franchises, both in search for a return to their glory years. The Steelers have won 6 Super Bowls, but not since the 2008 season. The Cowboys have 5, last winning in 1995. The Steelers haven't won a playoff game the last 7 seasons. The Cowboys haven't played in the NFC Championship in 28 years. The teams once battled in 2 Super Bowls to be the team of the 1970s. Dallas beat Pittsburgh for its most recent trophy. And since 1970, they lead the NFL in wins, Steelers 517, Cowboys 497. These days, the focus is on Dak Prescott versus Justin Fields and the Cowboys infamously bypassing T.J. Watt in the 2017 NFL Draft. But once upon a time it was a heated rivalry featuring Noll's snarl versus Tom Landry's fedora, a running back named Rocky versus a linebacker named Hollywood, terrible towels versus Cowboys cheerleaders' cleavage, and the Steel Curtain versus Doomsday. The strength of the brands is something that is to be respected. Every day when I get out of that car in this parking lot, it's a responsibility to represent the black and gold, and I would imagine the guys in Dallas feel the same way, said Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. You can't put a price tag on standards and legacy, and both organizations have that. We walk on the ground that's been paved for us by those that have come before us, and I'm sure that will be reflected in the way that both teams play this weekend. During their 64-year rivalry, they have played 33 times, including the 3 Super Bowls, with Dallas leading 17-16. To this day, the Steelers are the Cowboys' biggest AFC rival. 10, 1960, Steelers 35, at Cowboys 28, quarterback Bobby Lane throws 2 long, late touchdowns as Dallas coughs up a lead in its first game in the Cotton Bowl on the way to an inaugural season of 0-11-1. 9, 2004, Steelers 24, at Cowboys 20, Pittsburgh sacks Vinny Testaverde 5 times and punctuates a 10-point, fourth-quarter rally with Jerome Bettis' touchdown run with 30 remaining. 8, 1963, at Steelers 27, Cowboys 21, Ed Brown throws 3 touchdown passes, 2 to receiver Buddy Dial as Pittsburgh rallies from a 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter. 7, 1961, at Cowboys 27, Steelers 24, Dallas gets a combined 3 touchdown passes from quarterbacks Don Meredith and Eddie LeBaron and a late field goal by Alan Green to win its first game as a professional football team. 6, 2012, at Cowboys 27, Steelers 24, Tony Romo throws for 341 yards and cornerback Brandon Carr's interception of Ben Roethlisberger sets up Dan Bailey's game-winning field goal in overtime. 5, 1966, at Cowboys 52, Steelers 21, Meredith throws 4 touchdowns on only 11 completions as Dallas rolls to its biggest blowout in the storied series. 4, 2016, Cowboys 35, at Steelers 30, rookie Ezekiel Elliott runs for 2 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes, including a 32-yarder with 0:9 left as Dallas dramatically rallies for its 8th consecutive win. 3, 1979, Steelers 35, Cowboys 31, Pittsburgh quarterback Terry Bradshaw throws 4 touchdowns to win Super Bowl XIII MVP and confirm Pittsburgh as the team of the 1970s. 2, 1976, Steelers 21, Cowboys 17, Lynn Swann makes 2 long, acrobatic catches as Pittsburgh wins a Super Bowl X that features 15 future Hall of Famers. 1, 1996, Cowboys 27, Steelers 17 on a team packed with stars. Former 12th-round draft pick Larry Brown twice intercepts Pittsburgh quarterback Neil O'Donnell to win Super Bowl 30 MVP and clinch Dallas' fifth and last championship. Film room, Cordarrelle Patterson flashes against the Colts. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost their first game of the season to the Indianapolis Colts last weekend, but RB Cordarrelle Patterson managed to flash on offense in his limited time on the field. Patterson left the game in the second quarter with an ankle injury but provided a spark for Pittsburgh's struggling ground game, toting the rock 6 times for 42 yards, 7.2 YPC, while chipping in 2 catches for 19 yards. Patterson got stuffed on his first carry of the game, but from there, it was all systems go for the veteran running back. With 8:14 left in the second quarter, Pittsburgh mounted a 9-play, 91-yard drive that Patterson headlined as Pittsburgh drove the field. He started the drive with a 4-yard run with Pittsburgh backed up against their own goal line before ripping off a 12-yard run, getting a huge hole up the middle thanks to good blocks by Broderick Jones, Darnell Washington, and Van Jefferson to spring him into the secondary before getting dragged down from behind. On the very next play, Cordarrelle Patterson manages to pick up another 14 yards through the air, giving Pittsburgh another fresh set of downs. Watch below as Patterson fakes the handoff from Justin Fields, then floats to the middle of the field as the checkdown option, catching the pass from Fields and pivots back to the right side of the field where he gets plenty of green grass before getting dragged down by LBEJ Speed after picking up the first down. On the next play, Pittsburgh gives the ball to Patterson again, taking the handoff to the left, but cuts back to the right as a big hole opens up between the right guard and right tackle. This gives Patterson enough space to burst through the line of scrimmage and take the ball into the secondary again for another first down and an 11-yard pickup. Cordarrelle Patterson comes off the field for 2 plays after this run, resulting in a Najee Harris 1-yard run and a Darnell Washington 20-yard reception. Insider questions Steelers being linked with Raiders' Davante Adams. While numerous NFL reporters have linked disgruntled Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams to the New York Jets and New Orleans Saints, Diana Russini of The Athletic and NFL Network's Ian Rappaport have reported that the Pittsburgh Steelers have been in contact with the Raiders front office to discuss trade scenarios and said that Adams is open to playing for Pittsburgh. During an appearance on Pittsburgh sports radio station 93.7 The Fan, Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk likened Pittsburgh's pursuit of Adams to how the club failed to acquire San Francisco 49ers receiver Brandon Ayuk this summer. "I don't know that Davante Adams wants to go to Pittsburgh," Florio said, as shared by Matthew Marksey of Steelers Depot. "But when you look at the depth chart, they could use Davante Adams. The question is, does Davante Adams want to go there? I just feel like it's déjà vu all over again with Brandon Ayuk." The Steelers first explored a trade for Ayuk before this year's draft and seemed close to finalizing a deal for his services in August before it became clear he preferred to stay with San Francisco. He ultimately received his desired contract extension from the 49ers ahead of Week 1. As for Adams, he previously played alongside Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers and Saints signal caller Derek Carr. Rappaport directly said that New York is where the Raiders star wants to play, so a club such as the Steelers may hesitate to meet Las Vegas' asking price for Adams even if his current employer pays off some of his contract, as Rossini and Florio suggested. The Raiders reportedly want a package that would include a second-round draft pick and additional compensation for Adams. "I think the Steelers would have to get Adams at their right price," Florio added. That takes us back to the Brandon Ayuk conversation. The Steelers were dug in on what they would give the 49ers, what they would pay Brandon Ayuk. Adams would instantly become the top target for a Steelers team that started the season at 3-1. However, Pittsburgh seemingly isn't as all-in on winning now as is a Jets side that has a 40-year-old as its starting quarterback. Rappaport said that no, Adams' trade is expected at least until next week at the earliest, meaning the Raiders may be simply waiting to see if the Jets fall to 2-3 on the campaign and then become desperate to land Rodgers' good friend. Gang Green faces the 4-0 Minnesota Vikings in London this Sunday. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Davante Adams? Leave your opinion in the comments.